What was the trick of the Lubavitch Rebbe? Who is this man? There are it's very easy, anybody who's not like you, to mock, make fun, and be mevatel. There's no trick. Nobody then is mechayev you. Nobody costs you to respond. I am enthralled with Lubavitch. Hashem highlighted, a shul went through a tragedy, and one yid got up. It's easy to be cynical, but Hashem made this yid stand up and made us all notice a yid. I am awed by shluchim. Are you willing to move to Kentucky and raise your kids the rest of your life? No kosher food, no family. Also a yid puts on tefillin, you're willing to do it? And I don't say you should do it. I don't say your Rebbe say you should do it. But I'm awed. I'm nishtoimim. 5,000, there's some with the numbers, thousands of people move to crazy places around the world. Would you do that? And they raise a man and lady, 25, 30, and they live there for life. They move to crazy. It's easy to laugh. Anywhere you go, there's a Chabad house. Who raised this army? And I'm awed. They didn't even meet the Rebbe, half these people. They're 30 years old. The Rebbe was nifter in 1993. They were babies when the Rebbe was nifter. What was this man's trick? What did he do that he raised an army of Avdei Hashem willing to do? We have to find out. To be cynical doesn't cost anything. It's very geschmack. Just knock it, make fun, and then you have nothing to learn. It doesn't cost anything. But let's say there is something to be impressed by. There is something, an amazing phenomenon. I was very curious and I studied it for years. I read books on the Rebbe. I read many books. I needed to find out who is this guy? Who is this man? What was his secret? You know what I discovered? It's a very important discovery. What was his power? Ma koichai. Well, he said on himself that he never knocked. He didn't speak negatively. You know, he would never say stupid. He would say he wasn't so smart. He didn't call a hospital a bet cholim. A house of sick people? In Hebrew you say bet cholim. That's negative. He didn't call it bet cholim. You know what he called it? A bet refuah. A house of healing. He didn't like the word deadline. Deadline? Something good is happening. Deadline? He would call the death, got the name he had for deadline. He had a different name, opportunity, possibility. I think he called the deadline a due date. Something's being born, a due date. Not a deadline, a due date. He didn't like, but he was makbid. There are thousands of hours of his speeches, no negativity. I once listened to a speech, he spoke about Thanksgiving. I lost my mind, Rabbi say. He's talking about Thanksgiving in Yiddish. He had the picture, the Rebbe's sichos would go for hours. Kabbalah, Shas, Bavli, Kol HaTorah Kula was open in front of the man. And you had people, long beards. Lubavitch, not Lubavitch, would go to his speeches. He said Chedushei Torah for hours. So he starts this sicha, this talk, and he's like, the ganze Elam, sie kommen zusammen, the ganze Mishpocha, and sie kommen zusammen to danken the Beide. And he starts admiring America, that families are coming together. I'm ready for the cynicism. Okay, they really just want to eat turkey. They want to see the Detroit Lions play football. There wasn't a cynical line. He describes Thanksgiving, how beautiful it is that the whole country, families come together to thank Hashem. There was no every day Israeli was supposed to. There was no cynicism. It was mind-blowing. I was waiting for the but, and here's a man who was devoid of cynicism. And no wonder thousands of people today who never met him will just hear his echo are serving Hashem with passion because a man taught Torah devoid of cynicism. He's describing, he had such a pure view, such a positive view, you're like waiting for the cynical line. He's describing the country, how gorgeous, grandparents, and he's waxing poetic. It was wild. He's waxing poetic about Thanksgiving. How amazing it is. The ganze Mishpacha kommt zusammen to danken bei der Yolem. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like waiting for the cynicism. It never came, my friends. And serious people are listening. You're now inspiring a man devoid of cynicism. He had an ayin tov, the eye of Avram. Is it no wonder? The Rebbe had akbada not to speak negative.